Yo guys, what is up? It is Master Darius here. I already did a Vordis leader showcase here, but now I'm going to be doing the showcase on Pavium, showcasing all of his units in action as well as showcasing his leader powers as well. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll be showing all of his stuff in action as best as possible, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. First leader power which I'll show here is called Burnout, and it's basically you can use it on any building slot which involves mega turrets or supply buildings, and it puts them on steroids. If you have supply buildings, it increases the supply drop rate, so very effective there to put them on steroids. These here are building slots only unique to Pavium. They're very effective if you want to have a defensive perimeter set up on your bases. These are mega turrets, and they are long range turrets, just like the siege turrets are, but perhaps even more effective. They can actually shoot, as you can see on this map for example, they can actually shoot buildings if they're actually in your line of sight, and if any enemies come within the perimeter of your base, they're gonna be shot down as well. But if you want to actually counter these mega turrets, you'll have to use air units, because the mega turrets cannot shoot air units, and this has been proven as well. And if you want to purchase more mega turrets, they wouldn't cost the same amount. They'll actually start to increase in amount, so you have to pay more and more if you want to have more mega turrets set up. So I guess it's kind of balanced in that way. And if you want to upgrade your mega turrets, which you have to first upgrade your bases for that, you'll have to do that at one turret at a time. So if you upgrade the turret, it doesn't necessarily upgrade all the turrets as well at the same time, only one at a time. So there you go. The orbital designator leader power allows you to see any small area within the fog of war, so it is a very useful tactical leader power if you want to have a scout around without actually sending scout units. So you can actually be scouting units without actually alerting them, which is a very interesting leader power indeed. This is going to be one of the more devastating leader powers of Pavium. This is sort of like a mini eradication, but a little bit more easier for your units to dodge. So it's not that overpowered, which is why it's not towards the end of a leader wheel, but sort of in the middle. You can use it like this. It's very devastating against buildings. Of course, this is not even a fully upgraded version, but of course it would be also devastating against ground units as well, and probably very effective, I would imagine, against ultimate units such as a Scarab and Condor. This is one of the earlier leader powers you can lock in the game as Pavium. This is the Enduring Will. This is pretty much his regen field ability. It lasts longer than a regen field, but individually it isn't as strong as a healing field as the regen field itself is. But it's, like I said, lasts longer and has a larger perimeter. So pretty useful right there. Allow me to introduce the Wraith invaders. These are the new unique vehicle units for Pavium. You can unlock them only via the leader power wheel, and then you can spawn them in at your home bases. These are essentially troop transporters, and you can pretty much place any infantry units inside, such as hunters, grunt squads, elite rangers. You can have them inside, and they can shoot through the windows or something inside this Wraith invader, and they can, since the Wraith invaders have high speed, high health, shields, it's a very powerful vehicle to use effectively, especially if these little beam cannon hunters inside, and it can be quite a powerful tool to use, especially with its extra health inside. So that's pretty neat right there, as you can see. Using the full salvage leader power, you can get a full refund for self-destructing buildings and our building slots instead of getting partial refunds. Also, another feature of the full salvage here, you can your buildings, any building slots will heal itself over time, which is really good. So you don't necessarily need the engineers to actually repair everything. The building will start to repair itself slowly as well, which is pretty neat if you don't actually have engineers available to help you out. Second last leader power on the wheel is Pavium's Stand, and this is very similar to Aatrox's invulnerability ability, but instead of making your units invulnerable, you actually make all structures invulnerable for a certain period of time, so very useful for defensive play. Here you're seeing some gameplay of Pavium in action, taking out that Frostraven. Note that he's using his paint ability to paint the Frostraven, so he does extra damage on it. Then he takes care of those marines with explosive firepower. But we're going to be talking about his final ability here. But before that, he also has a drone that is hovering around him. It can heal him and as well as some other units around him if you activate it. And his final ability, as well as giving him health and extra damage, you have the riot shield, which comes into effect. It can block some of the projectiles fired by enemies and pretty much fire them back at them, which will of course do damage onto them, which is pretty useful. Shows his defensive nature as well in action, so that's nice. And then finally, the final leader power allows you to spawn in a Banished lich, which can be used to preserve some areas here and pathways, some valuable structures. It's a very defensive leader power, but very effective. But as you can see, I'm actually using it here to kind of assault this base here. It is powerful at destroying infantry units. It'll definitely give you a helping hand, as that's a lot of health. It's sort of like a semi-ultimate unit, but you can't control it. You cannot control it. But it spawns there a teleporter here, which you can use to actually spawn in more units to help you in the battle here. So it can be used both defensively and offensively, which is probably why it's the last leader power you can see on the wheel, because it's pretty much very useful in both aspects right there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the showcase of Pavium as well as Wraith, and I'll see you guys in some more Awakening Nightmare content later on or tomorrow, whatever.